Let's talk about confidence that investors have in South Africa's business landscape. Joining us now is Geoff Rothschild from Brand SA. It sounds funny, Geoff, talking Brand SA, known and associated with the JSE for so long, but you've retired from that after a long time. In your new role, not an easy job given the problems that South Africa has.
That's true. I think we've got to be aware that comments are being made, that it's got validity, and it's up to us to make the changes. The government have put in place their 9-point plan of all the many things that they want to do. And I think with the public sector and the private sector working together, we can definitely turn around the confidence level. You know, what's badly needed in this country, we talk about the jobless. We need jobs. And the only people that are going to provide jobs are small business. So we've got to get rid of the red tape. We've got to put out the red carpet, as they say, and make sure that we allow small businesses to develop.
But what is the possibility of this actually happening? If we take a look at what the Chamber of Commerce has released, they say that business confidence is at a 16-year low. They say the prospects for investment and job creation, which you're putting on the table now, are very, very low. So given that we know that there's a 9-point plan, what else is going to get us there? Because the pace at which we're going certainly seems, for the Chamber at least, that is insufficient.
I suppose we're asking you, are you saying that the index is wrong, the Chamber's wrong?
No, definitely not contesting what the Chamber says. There's an initiative at the moment that's hit the table called a one-stop shop for South Africa, for the country as a whole. And that's the sort of initiative where the public and private sector working together and the political will that you can start to change things, because it's the small businesses that are going to create the jobs that we want. Obviously one looks at the education system as well and says, are people coming through on a system that's going to make them employable? So there is a challenge on that front as well. But I definitely think we've got a lot of entrepreneurial people in the country, and I think when people are forced to make a living, they will make a living.
But Geoff, who's going to pull it together? I mean, we've got this NDP, which everyone agrees is a wonderful document, but it's not happening.
It's going to be individuals. It's going to be committed individuals who actually get involved, don't worry about the brick walls ahead of them, and do it.
Interesting image, yeah.
Well, I also want to just pick up on a number of the touch points that government has been trying to do, Operation Phakisa being one of them. These seem to be emerging and mushrooming almost every other day. But again, the sense is that the pace is not fast enough. You also talk about education, which is a long-term game. When can we realistically expect South Africa to stop having pedestrian economic growth, for jobs to start being churn out? Do we have a timeline that we can look and say, this is the year where we might begin to see real growth coming through?
I think there are a lot of people in business who've realized that unless they make the effort to get involved and make the changes and make sure that things happen, we're going to go downwards instead of upwards. I believe it can be done. I believe there are people in South Africa prepared to get involved and make the changes. And when you talk about timelines, hard, but you know, the 9-point plan which you've referred to, it identifies all the areas where things have got to happen. Now it's just a matter of individuals or individual companies getting involved, not being blocked by regulation, by policies where the impact analysis is not done, and being able to get on with what they've got to do.
Does Brand SA try to influence government? I mean, I know that you represent South Africa in a sense, and you do take the positive view, and we need that. Do you try and feed back to say, look guys, we're doing our best here, but you need our help. We need your help to change some things for the brand?
There's no doubt that Brand South Africa are acutely aware that we've got to have a good product to sell, and we're doing everything in our power to make sure that not only do we strengthen Brand South Africa itself, you've got many good people, but that we also extend the sphere of influence.
Well, very good. Thank you to you, Geoff. That's Geoff Rothschild from Brand South Africa talking to us there about efforts that need to be taken at an individual and even a company level to get South Africa moving forward.